Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Good morning, and apologies for the Shakespeare quote at the beginning there, but I've been wanting to shoehorn that one into a video for ages now, and I thought this was quite fitting. And while Microsoft's E3 presentation 2019 didn't exactly signify nothing, it was rather devoid of anything to get me excited, at least. And I was speaking to Oreo Cookie on Twitter last night, and I said maybe it was just me because I was very tired yesterday. It was my kid's birthday party, and it was a very long day. And when I finally sat down to watch Microsoft's E3 conference, as I say, I was a bit strung out and not really into the right state of mind. So I thought maybe it was me. But he said no, he was fully awake and prepared for it, and it bored him too. And that was the overriding feeling I had, that I was bored, you know? And there were things that raised it up and made it more interesting at various points, and we'll get to those in a minute. But the overriding feeling I had when I finished watching it was that I was really flat. And they started it off reasonably well, I have to say. They started it with The Outer Worlds, which is released on October the 25th. And that looks good. And I will probably want to buy that one. And it is coming to Game Pass, I believe. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And I was excited for that. And then we got Ninja Theory's Bleeding Edge, which has been mired in controversy since the trailer was leaked last week, I think it was. And people weren't happy because, well, you know, it's not a story-based game. It's a 4x4 online kind of melee combat game. And I don't think we should get too hard on Microsoft or Ninja Theory over this. It's a game they were working on for some time, and I'll wait and see what it is. I mean, you know, it's probably not my kind of thing, but, you know, if they wanted to make this game, then, you know, they've made it. If it's good at what it's doing, then I'm fine with it. But, you know, it didn't get me excited. Then we had Oreo, and then we had some Oreos. That would have made it more exciting, especially for my kid. He would have liked that. No, we had Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and that's coming February 11th next year, 2020. But, you know, we already knew about Ori, and frankly, I would have expected to see that at the end of this year. So that was a bit of a letdown, to be honest. And then they gave us Minecraft Dungeons, which is coming spring 2020. And they said it's a new game, but I don't know whether it's actually a brand new game or whether it's an add-on to Minecraft. I think it's a new game. Obviously, that's going to come to Game Pass as well. And, you know, I'm sure that'll be okay. And that was the kind of montage they did at the beginning before Phil Spencer came on. And then Phil Spencer came on and he delivered, well, a hyperbole-laden introduction about, you know, something like 60 games and 14 Xbox Game Studio exclusives and 30 of them coming on Game Pass. And then he said, we're going to have to talk about streaming and a new console. And at that point, I thought, well, he's going to talk about Project xCloud and he's going to talk about the new console or consoles. So I thought, okay, it might get better. So far, so good. I mean, it'd been okay. It wasn't particularly flat at that point, but it wasn't anything to write home about. By this time, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be okay. And then we got Jedi Fallen Order. And my personal view on Jedi Fallen Order is it's not as bad as some people are saying. It doesn't seem to be all that bad. It seems okay, but it's EA, so I will reserve judgment. Some of that looked okay. I mean, you know, it is what it is. If it turns out to be good, then I'll buy it. If it turns out to be a usual EA bait and switch, then I'll do what I usually do with EA games these days and ignore it. But hopefully it'll be a good game. I'm hoping. And then things picked up a little bit with Cyberpunk 2077, and we got some more footage for that, and that looked all very good, and everyone's excited about Cyberpunk 2077. Not an exclusive, but, you know, it is being marketed with Microsoft and all the rest of it. And that was cool because we had Keanu Reeves come on, and at the end of the clip, we had this silhouette coming forward, and then he moved into the light, and it was Keanu Reeves in-game. And then he came onto stage. He was introduced, he came onto stage, and Keanu Reeves may not have the greatest range as an actor in the world, but the guy has that difficult-to-define quality, that star quality. You see him come on a stage, and things immediately pick up, and they did. And that was good and exciting and fun. and then it all kind of fell flat again after he finished. We had some game called Spiritfarer, which is coming to Game Pass. Battletoads. I'm not interested in Battletoads, I have to say. I know a lot of people like it, but I wasn't interested in the originals, never played them. So, if you're into it, great. We knew about that already as well, though. And then we had something on ID at Xbox, and them saying that all the games on ID at Xbox are going to come to Game Pass, and we had a montage of various games. There'll be some great ones there, obviously. And they were saying they're all coming day one with Game Pass, but we knew that already, so, meh, big deal. And there was some other games. We got told that, Arkham Knight's coming to Game Pass, and Metro Exodus, which is a big deal, that's coming to Game Pass. Well, Metro Exodus coming to Game Pass is great and all. I own the game already. Probably shouldn't have bought it because I haven't played it yet. And I've got Game Pass, so wasted my money there, although I do like to have the physical copy. But, again, nothing to write home about, really. The thing I was getting by this stage was, well, the content's all right, but there was something flat about the whole thing. It just didn't seem to... It wasn't getting me excited, apart from that Keanu Reeves moment and the beginning with Phil Spencer when he started saying that, they're going to be talking about the hardware and the streaming service. Nothing really was grabbing me by this point. And then there was a brief pickup again where they talked about Game Pass Ultimate and the fact that if you buy Game Pass Ultimate on console, then you're going to get Game Pass for PC at no extra charge. And I thought that was a really good move. So that was a high point for me. That was like, yeah, Microsoft nailed that. That was cool. So you buy Game Pass Ultimate, you get Game Pass for console and PC. And at this stage, I'm thinking, oh, yeah. And then when they talk about the streaming, maybe they're going to dovetail that into it as well. And we'll get to that in a minute, but, the long and the short of it is that they didn't. Then we got Flight Simulator that's coming on Game Pass. If you're into flight sims, then brilliant. Okay, not my thing. Age of Empires Definitive Edition coming to Game Pass. Again, I like the Age of Empires games, but they're out there already. No big deal. Again, this is the kind of thing. It's like, yeah, well, okay, but why are you telling me this? This is something that you could just put out as a small thing. It's not something that needs to be in a big E3 conference. Then we got Wasteland 3. I'm not a fan of the Wasteland games. Not because I think they're bad games or anything. I just they kind of pass me by. You know how things are sometimes. You just don't play a game or whatever, and then you intend to go back to it and you haven't done. Maybe I'll give that a go. That's coming to Game Pass at launch as well. And then Matt Booty, who has got the job that Phil Spencer had before he became head of Xbox overall. He's head of Xbox Game Studios. Announced that they've bought Double Fine Productions and Psychonauts is coming to the Xbox. Again, okay, not bad, but it doesn't really compare to the massive studios they bought last year, does it really? And, we weren't expecting it to be as big as last year, but while, okay, it's fine to announce that. What I was getting by this stage was that all the different bits seem okay, but they're not amounting to much as a whole. So as an overarching conference, it didn't really gel. There wasn't anything really exciting there, apart from, I'll go back to it again, Keanu Reeves. Maybe I'm a Keanu Reeves fanboy, who knows? And then we had something about Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, not really into the Lego games. And then Dragon Ball and Sully over at Game Pass, probably be quite... Gamecast will probably be quite excited about that because he does videos regularly about Dragon Ball. So if you're interested in Dragon Ball, go over to Gamecast. Check those guys out. And you'll get some Dragon Ball stuff. Not my thing, but hey, And then a game called 12 Minutes, which looks interesting, actually. Kind of like that. It's kind of Groundhog Day idea, but everything resets every 12 minutes. So that might be okay. It looks like a kind of indie game. Probably get that if it looks good. Looks good at the moment, but, And then Way to the Woods, coming Game Pass to launch. All these games, Game Pass at launch. Which is great, because it looks like Game Pass is getting a lot of new games, a lot of stuff coming. And on day one, which is brilliant. All the first-party stuff is coming to Game Pass at launch, and it looks like some other games are as well now. So it's just getting bigger and expanding, and we kind of knew about that, and it's good. But again, really? Do we really need to hear about that now? I don't know. It's a small thing that should be part of the conference, but not a big deal. And there was nothing beyond that, really. And then we had Gears 5, which is coming September the 10th. And I like the Gears games, so, I'm quite pleased about that. But we knew that was coming. And then they gave us all the shenanigans about early on Game Pass Ultimate. I think you're getting it a week early or something if you've got Game Pass Ultimate. And then if you buy the special edition or whatever, you get a Terminator Dark Fate character pack, which is cool if you're into Terminator. And I love the Terminator films. Well, certainly the first two. Not really sure about the others. But you get the Terminator Dark Fate character pack, which is okay, cool. But, really, I said this about, I didn't make a video about this, but I said this about EA with Apex. Do we really want to be hearing about skins at a conference? Okay, they didn't talk about it for very long, so fine, I'll give them a pass on that. But yeah, again, whatever. So Gears, I'm looking forward to Gears, but we didn't really see very much. I mean, where was the gameplay? There was nothing. I don't know. Rod Ferguson gave us some stuff about a new co-op mode called Escape, which looks cool. I should be excited about Gears, and I wasn't. I was watching this and I was thinking, yeah, okay, fine. That was how I felt. And then we had the new Elite controller, which is, again, great. I like the Elite controller. I think it's a great controller, and having a new iteration of it with slightly more functionality can only be a good thing. And I would have expected to see that here, but, and they did that. That was quite quick. Fine. Brilliant. No problem there. Dying Light 2, Spring 2020. Forza Horizon 4, Lego expansion, which looks cool. That was one of the only game highlights for me, really, because I know that my lad's going to enjoy that. So that made me take notice for 10 seconds or so. And then Gears Pop, which frankly, I'm not interested in that in the least. They can keep that one. It's a mobile game. Why am I hearing about mobile games? I know mobile's huge, but yeah, whatever. Meh. State of Decay 2 Heartland expansion, which is out now apparently. I loved State of Decay, the first one. I haven't played the second one. Hopefully the game's getting better. But, some of these games, they didn't exactly set the world alight when they were released. So while we're hearing about expansions for them at an E3 conference, I don't know. We should be hearing about new games. And that's really the big problem. Sega had Phantasy Star Online 2. So if you're into those games, then that might have got you excited, but it didn't really me. And then we had a game called Crossfire X. I thought that looked okay, actually. Don't know much about it. It's a timed exclusive for Xbox, and it's coming on Xbox Game Pass, I think. That's what I've written in my notes. I might be wrong on that one, though. So, yeah, that was that. And then Tales of Arise from Bandai Namco 2020. I know a lot of people like the Tales games, so that might have excited people. But do you see what I mean? This is all kind of coming through, and there was no real oomph. There was something missing. I don't know whether it's because they're kind of treading water till next year or what, but it just... Maybe it was me projecting onto the conference, but it didn't seem to have any real energy. And then we had the Borderlands collection, the Handsome collection, which is coming to Game Pass, and it's also going to be part of Borderlands 3. So if you buy Borderlands 3, and I haven't got a date for when that's coming, but if you buy Borderlands 3, you'll get the Handsome collection as part of it, I believe. And then they announced an add-on that's coming for Borderlands Handsome collection, Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary, apparently, which looked okay, actually. If you're a Borderlands fan, then you're probably excited about that again. And then another one called Elden Ring, which looked interesting. And then Phil Spencer came back on stage, and he gave us some information about Project xCloud and their new console and all the rest of it. And I don't know, I should have been really excited about this because I'm really interested in what Microsoft have to offer with xCloud. And I'm really excited about their new console. But there wasn't really any information. What have we got about Project xCloud? I'm looking at my notes here, and there's literally nothing. There's nothing. No real information. They didn't tell us what games are coming to it. I don't know. It's just like he mentioned it, and that was it. But we already knew about it. So where's the detail? I thought Google were bad the other day, but this, if anything, this was worse, if that's possible. Oh, we did get something. I thought that Xbox becomes a cloud server, so you can stream from your Xbox to other devices. That looked interesting. That is potentially something I will be really interested in. So that might be okay. But again, they didn't really go into a lot of detail, so I still need to see more about that. and their next console, still called Project Scarlet. We didn't get told whether it's going to be 1 or 2 or whatever. We got some same sort of information we got from Sony. And Phil Spencer told us they think that the console is vital, which is nice to hear, but it'll be vital right up until the point when they don't think it's vital anymore. So, you take that with a pinch of salt. It's going to be 4 times the power of the Xbox One X. It's going to give us up to 120 frames per second. And as with Sony, it's going to be 8K capable. Yeah, right, I believe that. I'll believe that when I see it, Phil. Yeah, 8K. These consoles from Sony and Microsoft are going to be 8K. Right. Just concentrate on giving us 4K at 60 and I'll be happy, all right? Because 8K, come on. These things haven't got the power to do 8K. It'd be like the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X with 4K now. Take that with a pinch of salt, 8K. It's just pointless. Utterly pointless. And again, SSD, 40 times performance increase or something. And I'm sure, as I said about the PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 or whatever they're going to call it, I'm sure the performance is going to be a lot better. And I'm going to be happy with that. But come on, let's we'll wait until we actually see the hardware and we've got it in our hands and see just how much better it is. And it will be better, let's be honest. But it's all bloody marketing stuff at this stage. And it wasn't really enough information to get me really excited. So, yeah, it's great and all, but we kind of knew all this already. Again, I keep saying this, kind of knew all this already. And it will launch with Halo Infinite, which is good because we all know that the Xbox One X launched with precisely bugger all. So it come in with Halo Infinite day one. You'll get a bundle, obviously. That'd be great. It'll help sell the console. I can't argue with that. Brilliant. Nice move there. And then we got the Halo Infinite trailer at the end. And that was it. So, I walked away and... I walked away. I stayed sat in my chair and fell asleep, actually. That's what actually happened. I stayed in my chair and fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I'd watched it on Mixer and it finished. And I actually got to the end before I fell asleep, surprisingly, but I did. And then it got to the end, and when I woke up, it was repeating because it had repeated the stream. So I don't know much later that was, but there was a gap in between. And yeah, I honestly don't understand how Microsoft could have made this so dull. With the exception of, I don't know, Keanu Reeves and, I don't know, maybe the Elite controller. I'm looking at my notes here trying to work out. I'm literally going through them trying to find bits that I found interesting and exciting. Game Pass Ultimate, yeah. And, I am interested in the hardware, but whatever. So, yeah, new hardware, new services. The streaming service I was expecting to hear more about, and I thought maybe they'd say that they're going to, integrate that into Game Pass, maybe for an extra little fee or something, which would have been great. None of that. How Microsoft could have taken, they had a free run at goal, didn't they? And they did a Ronnie Rosenthal. I mean, they had an open goal and they managed to miss the target. For my money, anyway. And like I say, it might just be that I was projecting, that I was feeling flat myself, and so I came away feeling flat after watching it. But it seems that a lot of people feel the same. But, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. There was some stuff in there that was interesting. And, maybe on another day I would have been a bit more excited about it. And there are some things to be interested in, but I want to hear more. I wanted some actual information. And where were the surprises games-wise? Where was Fable? Where was the new IP that surprised and excited us? Or where was the resurrection of an old IP that we were waiting for? Where was the things to get us really properly excited? I made a video, I think it was on Saturday, where I said, don't believe the hype. Don't get too wound up and excited about these things because you're only going to be disappointed. But even me, who, approaches these things, with a healthy dose of skepticism, even I came away from this disappointed. How you can start from low expectations and still come away disappointed is beyond me. But as I say, that's my opinion. You guys might think I'm completely wrong. And if you do, let me know in the comments. And let me know if there was anything that you took from this that got you excited or interested. And also let me know, did you feel flat as well? But anyway, that's me done. I've gone on for 20 minutes or so now, so I'm going to go and grab myself a cup of tea, and I will speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.